Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Thursday the 17th of July 2025. In today's Millwall news, start off with this. We got pictures from training out in Spain. Again, as it says here, ahead of the Elche test. Millwall prepared for Elche test. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. Millwall trained at a sweltering Pinatar Arena on Thursday morning as they prepared for Friday morning's pre-season friendly against Elche CF. Kick-off at 10:30 local time, 9:30 British time. Take a look at the bumper gallery from Spain below. So let's have a look and see what we can see. Alex Neil there. Jack Howland, Jacob Prozozny, Beaumont, smiling, Rafik Lamptey, Adam Mayer, Ivanovic, Tanganga, Beaumont and Casper Denor, Jake Cooper, Kamal Grant, Wes Harding, Ivanovic, Kamal Grant, Jack Howland, Ivanovic, Kramer, Ryan Leonard, Kramer, Benicio Baker, Adomi Maku, Jafet Tanganga, Adam Mayer, Reece Bangor Williams. Will he play tomorrow? Don't rush him back. Don't want him to get injured, but if he is ready, give him a game. 32. Who is 32? Should I know who that is? Is that one of the youngsters? I don't know who that is. Obviously, Femi Aziz. Good to see Femi Aziz there again. Good to see Femi Aziz. Number 32. Who is that? Is this someone that I'm missing quite blatantly? That's clearly one of the youngsters. 32. Maybe it's a trialist. I don't know. Again, I don't think that's Celestine Charles. I don't think so. Interesting. That's AJ Matthews. It's Sheldon Kendall. He took his hair out. Whatever they call it. I don't know. He took his braids out. Okay. Didn't recognise him. That's still totally different. Interesting stuff. I don't know why did he do that? It's too hot. Insanely hot out there and just couldn't handle it anymore. Don't know. Camille Negley, will we see him tomorrow? Loads of pictures. Loads and loads of pictures. We're still going, aren't we? Just insane amount of pictures they put out. Langstaff. One thing I will say. Obviously, you mentioned a lot of debate about Langstaff. And whether he's good enough or not. But one thing you can see when you're going through these photographs. Right, let's go through a few. Look at Massey's muscles on his legs, right? And you see some of the other players as well. The definition on the muscles on it. Look at that. Look at Sheldon Kendall's legs on the right hand side. Even Tanganga's insanely defined legs, right? And then you get to the Langstaff. Like, it's not there, is it? It's not there. And look again. Maybe it's just the photograph at the right time. When they're straining their legs, and maybe it's that. But I mean, yeah, it doesn't look good. Now, that's it. So there you go. And just to mention, preview Mill versus Elche. The meeting with the La Liga side will be the second and final match of the Lions pre-season training camp in Spain before they return home to the UK for further pre-season fixtures. Head coach Alex Neil will once again look to use the majority of his squad in the Spanish heat, with the Lions set to wear their 25-26 away kit for the second time. Millwall supporters are able to attend the fixture at Pinatar Arena, with tickets and further information on sale at the Pinatar Arena website. If you're unable to make it to the stadium, you can stream the fixture on Millwall TV for £5.99, with details on how to purchase also below. So there you go. So this is tomorrow morning. If you're working from home, have it on in the background while you're working. One thing to note, if you are unable to watch the game live, if you are a subscriber to Millwall TV Plus, you will get, usually after 24 hours, you will get a chance to watch the whole game back. They do put up full match replays. They put up extended highlights. So that is a thing that happens, because obviously, you're paying money. They want to help you out with that. Now, moving on to this, which is tangentially Millwall related, but it's very interesting. Very interesting. The other day I made a video, 3 goalkeepers. Millwall linked with 3 goalkeepers in the same piece. One of those goalkeepers is given an interview to the Evening Standard. I think because some Arsenal fan at the Evening Standard journalists probably just wanted to write it up. So we have this. So again, this is the goalkeeper that was linked with coming to Millwall. The João Virginia interview. Goalkeeper opens up an Arsenal dream and he's interesting. Next move. Interesting. Very interesting if he came to Millwall, wouldn't it? But let's see what he says. We're going to speed through this because most of it's not about Millwall. So it was almost exactly 10 years ago that João Virginia made one of the biggest decisions of his career in joining Arsenal. Aged just 16 at the time, the goalkeeper elected to leave Benfica in his native Portugal to sign for the Gunners. Virginia made the move on his own, living in digs with fellow academy player Eddie Nketiah, and spent 3 years with Arsenal before joining Everton in 2018. Being a young lad from Portugal and joining one of the biggest clubs in the world was a dream, Virginia tells Standard Sport. I was really over the moon about everything, the project, the players I was going to be training with, and it was actually the same year that Peter Cech joined, and to go there and have the pleasure of working side by side with such a goalkeeper and such a good person was amazing. Peter's very enthusiastic about football. He speaks a lot, he loves goalkeeping. He was very helpful, especially to me because I was so young, and he would give me advice on how to do things differently. Virginia played for Arsenal's youth teams, but he was regularly invited to train with the first team. In those sessions, he came up against the likes of Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil, and towards the end of his time at the club, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. For a young goalkeeper, it was valuable experience, and Virginia has fond memories of his time at Arsenal. I often wonder, what would have been if I never left Portugal. But I do believe that I made the right choice when I was young, he says. I joined a great academy, that was, and perhaps working at a different level than if I'd stayed in Portugal. Physically, I started to work way more on my body, my explosion and my strength, and at that age in Portugal, you would not do that. And at the end of my first season at Arsenal, I'd gained 10 kg of muscle, but, I didn't lose any speed. And I was working with Sam Wilson, and we still keep in touch. He's a great guy. Virginia remains in contact with others from his time at Arsenal, and he recalls with affection his time living with Nketiah, while Nathan Tella later joined him too. When Everton played Newcastle on the final day of last season, Joe Willock and Virginia sought each other out to swap shirts. Oh, Eddie and I used to go into training together, said Virginia. And, it was a big difference because my English wasn't the best, but he helped me a lot. I had lessons when I was young to improve, but being in digs helped a lot. I had a very good lady in the house, Lena, who was so helpful to me. But I do remember the freedom. I was young and focused on playing football, and that was the main thing. But sometimes we would have a cheap meal, without the Diggs woman knowing, and we'd order 2 for Tuesdays from Domino's. The main difference was the weather. Obviously, I was used to Portuguese food as well, and going to England was definitely different. You get used to it after a while, especially the weather when you're doing what you love. A decade on from joining Arsenal, there is now another big decision for Virginia to make. Here we go. The 25-year-old is currently a free agent after his contract at Everton expired, and he is weighing up his next move. Virginia is attracting interest from Premier League and Championship clubs, as well as sides in Portugal and Spain. Benfica, who left in 2015 to join Arsenal, are also tracking him. As he considers his options, Virginia is living and training in the Algarve, where he grew up. Virginia's, we'll skip that. I have people that I trust, that I've been working with for a long time, says Virginia. They've been helping me, especially in this period, because it's really necessary to be prepared to start the season as soon as I can. It could happen at any moment. This is an interesting step in my career, looking at the options I have and finding the right one. My main objective is to go out there and play and show what I have been learning all this time. I feel like I am at a stage where I am more than ready, more than capable, and I have proved it a lot of times when I have been out there. I have been at Everton for a long time. I love the club, I love the people. It's been so long that I needed to start somewhere and build up my career again. I felt like I gave everything at Everton, and it was time to find a new adventure and hopefully play more. This is what I want, to grow as a goalkeeper, and to do that I need the right environment. There's a big chance that I might stay in England, which would be great. I would like to stay at a very good level and play every week. Ha. So there you go. Is he coming to Millwall? Millwall, very good level. He's not saying, a good level. Very good level, and play every week. So it seems, they're going to promise in the number one. That might be a bit of a sticky situation down the line when Jensen comes back. But, if he comes... If we do the kind of deal that we've done with Tanganga, we sign him and then we say to the guy, look, you're a Premier League player. You should be playing in the Premier League. You need to come to us. We'll play you every week because, Max Crocom, we see he's all right, but he hasn't really been tested. We don't know how good he is. He's come from League One. But we say to this guy, look, you come down here, we'll play you. You're a Premier League goalkeeper. I don't know why they ain't signing you, but here's the thing. We'll play you every week, and then the release clause is, if a Premier League club comes in for you, then you can go. And then, later on, if he has a blinder of a season, the next season, if we're still in the Championship and not gotten promoted, the release clause is, the Premier League teams can come in and get him. So there you go. But I thought this was very interesting. Very interesting. There's a big chance that I might stay in England, which would be great, and I would like to stay at a very good level and play every week. So again, the guy's not looking for money. Well, he says that now, but, money talks and bullshit walks. How much does he really want to play every week? So, in terms of whether staying at a Premier League team and being second fiddle, he wants to play. Maybe this is it, man. This guy is a Premier League quality player. And he wants to play. And no offence, Crocom, Jensen, Roberts, they came up from below. Who came down from Sarkic? Sarkic came down. He was at a Premier League team. So this is. I'm getting my hopes up, but I don't know anything other than we were linked with him. He wants to play. And he wants to stay in London. He loved his time at Arsenal. So, we'll see. Now, moving on to this from southwarknews.co.uk. They've been speaking to the under-21 manager. Because I think one of them has gone out to Spain and one hasn't. So, I guess that sucks if you're not the one who's gone out there. But, hey, you get to speak to Kevin Nugent. Kevin Nugent outlines how Millwall identify potential trialists for the under-21s to decide who to sign permanently. Kevin Nugent has outlined how Millwall identify trialists for the under-21s to decide who to sign permanently. The Lions currently have 7 players on trials. Nugent's side step up their pre-season preparations. 7 players on trial. Several members of Nugent's side are on deals after impressing on trial, including Jaden Celestine Charles, Rafik Lamptey, Jet Dyer and Ben Drake. All 4 arrived from either non-league clubs or after being let go by other academies. Reece Bangor-Williams, who has made 13 team appearances following his debut in January and recently signed a new long-term contract, signed after 2 separate trials. Nugent explained how potential trialists are spotted. "Oh, there are numerous things," Nugent said. Lucas, he's on the recruitment side. He gets a lot of players in, and Aid as well. Aid gets a few players in. Sometimes we need certain positions, but again, it's not an overnight thing, and these things have been going on. So Lucas and Aid have been, tracking players, and sometimes, I'm sure they'll get a tip off about a player, or it could be an agent that phones. But obviously, they'll be out and about and watching, and the whole network that they'll need to get players in, and that's generally how it works. It's tough. It's tough getting them in, but, we say, do you know what? Don't even ask too much. If there's any doubt, just get a player in and we'll have a look at them. And, we treat our trialists very well. We don't keep them here if we don't think they're going to be suited for us. And I do feel for them, coming in on trial. It is really tough. But every player really, every person at this football club at one stage of their career was a trialist. So we've got to remember that. And even though we've been here a long time, we've got to look back and think, what was it like on the first day you went in as a 14-year-old or 16-year-old or an 18-year-old? So you've got to be very mindful of that as well. When asked how they could decide which trialist they would retain, Nugent said, it could be something where they have a super skill, it could be their technique, it could be their physicality, and it could be someone who wins every single header. So there's something that you want to see, something that stands out, but like I said, it's really difficult, being that trialist. It's really hard because, we've already got a group of players in. So when you come in, you need to be possibly better than what we've already got, that's tough. When you don't always have that longing to be in to show that, to promote it, but we look for someone and we think there's a progression in. So there you go. Reminder, obviously, we got first team game tomorrow out in Spain tomorrow morning. Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. Maidstone United away. If you want to see these 7 trialists, that's the place to be. 3 o'clock at Maidstone United's ground. Which Maidstone United, pretty decent team. I know obviously non-league has a lot of turnover in players, so I don't know how good they are at the moment. Welling, did you see the Welling score yesterday? They had an absolute nightmare. They lost 10-0 at home to Leyton Orient. Wow, 10-0? What the fuck? But yeah, we'll see. I expect Maidstone United to win that game just because, the main players in the under-21s are out in Spain, which, is right and proper, you need to have a look at them, see how they're doing, if they've improved, and, we'll see how they carry on later. Now, obviously, the under-21s have to play Welling on the 1st of August, Friday the 1st of August. So it would be interesting to see how they compare to Leyton Orient. Will they score 10 goals against Welling? Probably not, but we'll see about that. Now we're going to finish with this. New stadium tour dates are on sale. This is from millfc.co.uk. A new batch of stadium tour dates are now on sale. Step into Millwall history. Experience the magic within, walk the path many Lions legends have taken, and feel the passion in SC16 on our 1-hour guided tour. The Den is one of the most iconic football stadiums in England, making it the perfect place to learn all about the colourful history and heritage of Millwall Football Club. The guided tour will start in a brand new hospitality lounges before stopping off at various different locations in the stadium, such as the director's box, the press area and the Paul Jiggins Media Suite. The tour is rounded off by taking the players' walk from the dressing room through the tunnel and out to the dugouts. The experience cannot end without making sure you grab a picture next to Alex Neil's seat. New seats. I wonder what they're going to look like. Brand new seats. sold the other ones off in the auction, didn't they? So here are the dates. Saturday the 16th. These are all pre-match ones. So every match there's a pre-match tour. So Middlesbrough pre-match 10:30 a.m. Saturday the 30th of August. Wrexham pre-match 10:30 a.m. Monday the 22nd of September. Yes. Remember, the Watford game got moved to the Monday, so this pre-match tour is on a Monday, but it's at 3 p.m. when the game's at 8 p.m. So what are you going to do for 5 hours? I mean, but yeah, there you go. And these are the prices here, as you can see. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.